checking out church or this meeting, this gathering, whatever we end up calling it. Um, I'm having technical issues with my computer. And so I'm on my phone, and guess where all my notes are? On my phone. And guess what I realized 2 weeks ago? That if I go off of this into my notes or anything else, I cut off the live. So I'm going to do this by memory and Holy Spirit's help. So, why are we here? Why does this church exist? Why does this gathering exist? Why is it that I want to share what God has given me? So, 3 points that I want to make. A little bit of my personal story is just where I came from and where I am. Where I came from in this place of mind fuckery to a place where I have all the tools and I see the way. And the way then becomes the navigating of life, right? Over here, I felt powerless. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know where the answers were. I didn't know who I was. Over here, clarity, abundance, joy. I know where to turn when I feel like this, right? If in a moment of time I feel that familiar, what's going on? Why am I frustrated? Instantly, here's all the things. Lots of practice in between, but it starts with some real foundational presuppositions that are the go-to. And that's basically what we're going to do throughout our journey together is we're going to look at those presuppositions. We are going to practice navigating through life so that ultimately the goal is one of our three things. So I'll get there. That is where it came from. That is where I am. And that is what I want to share with you. And so when we look at why we're here and what's the point, okay, the first one is knowing God through the example of Christ. So one of the things that I've really been tapping into lately is really the gap between who I am and who I want to be and what it takes to get there. And so where we are in the unknowing of who we are and where we want to be, security, abundance, living this life of joy. And if there's anything other than God that we're seeking the answer from, it's temporary. Whereas God is that unchanging, unending allowance of this abundant life. And so when we look at here's God, well, what's the example of God? There's lots of different examples that we can utilize to get to God. The one that we're going to use is the example of Christ, the example of Jesus, how he lived his life. And how did he live his life? Well, we talked about it last week in John 14, right? I only say what my Father tells me to say. I am a conduit for an expression of the oneness of me and God, right? So we are this human expression of God. The only way to freely express said God is to be one with him, right? One with God. And so what is it that Jesus came to give us an example of? Well, it's Christ consciousness. The consciousness that says, I'm already included, I already belong, I have an identity that is available to me on this planet to exercise the expression that I came to the planet to be as God. So that is our first foundational point, is that our goal is God. And let's just for a minute look at what is that. God is omnipresent, all powerful, all knowing. And when we stop and we realize, well, if God is all knowing, if God is always present, if God is always benevolent, then sorry guys, then we can, our goal is that. And now what is the example? Christ was the example. So the goal is focusing, the cornerstone is focusing on God and then knowing ourselves through that. Our second presupposition, or our second foundational point that we're here to express, is love. And Jesus was really clear that you will know my disciples by their love. And I think so often, and the trap that I was stuck in my old patterning, was that there was one way to get to God. The dogma, the theology, as opposed to seeking God for the heart of God, the relationship of God. And if we believe that God is love, and love is undeniable, love is something that when we feel it, we can't deny that we felt it. So when we function from this place of, you'll know my disciples by their love, am I expressing love? Is there love in the connection and relationship between me and the people that I am communing with? That's the indicator that we're functioning in that place. And when we get caught up in the rules and the laws and the dogma and the religion or the modality or the truth, we lose this aspect of seeking love for the sake of love. And so loving well. Are we loving well? Every day, are we growing in our ability to love well? And then our third, which you guys, my notes. So let me just tap in. Oh, integration. Integration. We are 100% human, 100% spirit. We are 100% human flesh patterns, the way that we were conditioned and programmed. And simultaneously, we are 100% divine, this energy of all knowing, all powerful, all benevolent, but we are in a vessel that is the opposite of that, right? So how do we take those two aspects of us and bring it into harmony? How do we take the part of us that's programmed and the part of us that is connected to God moment by moment in the now? How do we take this limited, finite us and integrate it into this infinite, unbounded, limitless part of us? And that's the goal, is the integration of our human and our spirit. And a lot of times we can walk around this world and feel bipolar or split personality, like I'm this person over here, but I'm this person with my kids, or I'm this person at work, or when I come home with my wife, I'm this person. When I'm with my friends, I'm this person. When I go to church, I'm this person. When I'm meditating, I'm this person, right? And there's all these different persons of us. And when we really look at the fact that we are divine energy playing roles, The goal is to not lose the role. The goal is to infuse this God identity into each of those roles so that we get to show up completely authentic and available for the inflowing of God and the outflowing of love. And so those are our three real foundational things that we are going to move through. And it's all centered around what I call M-Free. And M-Free is a philosophy, modality, understanding, structural way of seeing life. And life being the expression of God, right? Because God is undefinable, yet undeniable, right? Because if God is all there is, then my finite brain can't understand the allness. Yet, if God is love, it's undeniable inside of me when I experience it. And so, guys, that's the goal, is how do we take who we be on this planet as a human person playing lots of different roles and infuse all of this with our one identity as love, divine energy into this body so that when we show up, we're free. We're free to just be us. We're authentically loving how everyone around us needs to be loved at any given moment in time. So if that sounds like a fun journey, if you would like to learn how to go from not knowing, confusion, frustration, emptiness to this place of fullness, abundance, life, experiencing love, moment by moment in your day, then I'd love to invite you to make a comment at the bottom and say, yes, please. And we're gonna put you on an email list, or I guess we'll reach out and give you a link to put you on an email list, and invite you, or you can show up here every Sunday at 10:30 if you don't want to be on an email list, which totally is fine. But if you want more communication, please reach out. Let us know. Yes, please. I'd love some more information. And we'd love to reach out to you and get you connected. And we're just going to walk this journey, and we're going to walk it together, and we're going to love each other, and we're going to discover a lot about ourselves and a lot about God. So if that sounds fun for you, I'm excited to see you on this journey. And again, we'll be here every Sunday, 10:30. We'll see you then.